Always great catching with my next guest. Guram Kutateladze is going to be back in action. UFC Fight Night, March 22nd in London. Doesn't get much better than this. Guram, how are you, sir?
I'm good, James. Thank you. Nice to hear your voice. Nice to see you again.
You as well. And it looked like you got a full camp for this fight. When did you find out?
About maybe 3 weeks ago, something like that. I'm not really sure, but I have been training. I've been. It has been a long year for me. I've been here in Spain for almost half a year, and have been together with Ilia and Alexandre, and we've been training together a lot. So mm, yes, so I've been training and I've been in shape, and was waiting for the moment.
What made you decide to do your camp in Spain this time as opposed to in Sweden at All Stars?
First of all, I wanted to try, Spain. I know Topuria brothers since a long way back. It's not just now we met each other. It's not a year story. It's not 2 year story. It's way back before we even fought in UFC, and even our mothers from the same city and
Oh,
from the
no
same
way.
school. So they have been long-time friends since childhood. So yes,
Good. Okay.
I'm here in Spain. It's warm here. In Sweden, it's very cold, um, dark, and here is sun in Alicante, almost 360 days a year. So good training together with brothers, and we keep on fighting, keep on taking over.
Yes. Yeah, we'll talk about Ilya and Alexander in a second here. Obviously, a lot of really good stuff going on with them. But back to your fight. Were there any other opponents in the mix?
No, it was only Kaue Fernandes
Mhm.
that they offered me. Um, I was ready. I was asking for the fight for a long time, actually.
Mhm.
They suggest me to fight in Abu Dhabi on short notice, like 5 days notice. I wanted to go, but at that time I just arrived to Australia.
Mhm.
So for Alexander's fight, and we've been in a full camp, and I was helping him, and UFC knew about that too. So it was it was a little bit impossible for me.
Yeah.
I just was in the air for 3 days. I was jet lagged, etc., and 5 days notice. Fly back for 2 days or whatever it was, and then making weight and stuff like this. A little bit unprofessional from my side to take this kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
To make this kind of decision. So I decided to focus on Alexander's fight at that time, and when my time will come, I will be ready. So,
Yeah.
and I knew it will come because people love to see me fighting.
They sure do. I get asked about you all the time, by the way. Fans really enjoy watching you fight. And, even before we
Thank you
booked this
so much.
interview, I had a number of people be like, when are you going to interview Guram again? Because, people want to see you compete. So I'm glad to see you back here.
Appreciate. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no, it must be cool to hear that. So let's talk about a Fernandes, obviously 9-2 record. Your style, how do you feel like your style matches up against his in this fight?
Stylistic wise, this is a bad matchup for him.
Mhm.
Um, but it's a fight.
Yeah.
I will be ready for all the aspects of the fight, of the game. I'm ready to take it wherever it goes. Um, but he is going to have hard times, in my opinion. And all the respect to my opponent, all the respect to Kaue. He he's a great striker, and I think he's a BJJ black belt. He have done great fights, but yes, this is my time now, and this is my time to get to top 15 and get to the top. And I know I can do it pretty fast, and you're gonna see me on top and fighting for the belt very soon.
I love it. You mentioned training camp, obviously with the Topuria brothers. Who else have you had a chance to work with this camp as far as training partners?
I've been training in it, as you said previously, I've been training at All Stars Stockholm before, but this training camp I've been in Spain training with most of the times with Alexandre Topuria and at Clement Club. So I've been making my training camp here, training with the guys here, keeping on developing. We stop developing only when we die.
Yeah.
So that's the main reason for me, where I see where I can develop and learn new things. That's where I go, and I felt that here is something new. I could find some new fresh blood, and some knowledge I can get. So that's why I'm here, and that's why I've been training here, and I'm trying to pick up and learn every day something new.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm doing, and that's uh, that's what it is.
One of your former training partners, a good friend of yours, I have to ask about him, is Khamzat Chimaev. Obviously, we're waiting to hear when the title fight with Dricus Du Plessis will happen. I think it's inevitable that that's going to be next. Have you spoken to him recently?
Yes, 2 days ago.
Okay, great. Without obviously getting anyone in trouble, does it sound like he's going to be fighting soon? Because I think a lot of people do want to see that title fight.
Of course, a lot of people want to see that fight. Mm, he is going to become a champion, you know.
Hmm.
I don't think anybody can stop that guy. Have you seen him? Have you seen him fighting? Nobody can stop this guy. Just right now, there is nobody. So it's just a matter of time.
I agree. What did you think of his? I don't think we've spoken since the win over Robert Whittaker. Rob's never been submitted in the UFC. How impressed were you with your friend going in there and making short work of a former UFC champion in Robert Whittaker?
I wasn't surprised. Mm, once again, all the respect to Robert. Um, I love the guy. I respect the guy a lot. He's an amazing human being, amazing martial artist. But again, you saw how Hamza trains and how he fights and what kind of fighter, warrior, martial artist he is, what kind of human being. He's a very scary person when it comes to fighting. And I wasn't surprised. He break a person's jaw.
Mhm.
So break his teeth while trying to choke him. So I wasn't surprised.
I don't know if you know the answer to this. I'm just going to ask anyways. If you don't, it's totally fine. But a lot of fans are wondering if Chimaev is able to fight in the United States because he's obviously been fighting in the Middle East. Do you know if that got cleared up? Some people felt like when Trump became president that it would probably mean good things for Chimaev because obviously there's a relationship with Trump and Dana White.
Yes, as Trump became a president, this is good for UFC and all UFC fighters. This is not a secret.
Mhm.
So hopefully we're gonna see him in US and he gonna fight for the belt.
Yeah.
Actually, wherever in the world, but I think it's gonna be soon.
Yeah. And just last thing, how do you look at a fight with him and Dricus Du Plessis, who Dricus, to his credit, he's looked unbelievable. First fighter to submit Israel Adesanya. He's coming off a good win over Sean Strickland. How do you look at that fight with Chimaev and DDP? Looks like a fun one.
Of course, it's fun for you for fight fans, but for me, it's not fun. First of all, he's my brother. Second of all, my training partner and teammate, and then third, I know the guy. I don't think of course, once again, respect to Dricus, and he's a strong guy. I know, and he's a champion. But once again, he have not met Khamzat, and when he gonna meet Khamzat, as everybody else before, gonna say the same. And everybody gonna see the result.
Yeah.
Once again, he gonna become the champion.
Back to your fight, you mentioned being in the new camp. Who will be in your corner for this fight? Will that change? Who do you know who will be in the cage with you on March 22nd?
Maybe this is a little surprise
Mhm.
for you and for fight fans. Let's see.
Okay, so we're gonna have to wait and see then, is what you're saying.
Yes.
Okay, I like that. I like that. Look at you keeping me on my toes in this interview. I like it. I was like, is he going to say something? And no, it's a teaser. I like that. That's good. You're making my job good. Keeping me paid.
Let's
well.
go, James.
There
Let's
we go. There we go.
James.
I got to ask though, I know you feel like you're going to win this fight. How do you see the fight playing out on March 22nd?
You know, James, as I told you, I'm ready. I'm ready, you know. I'm ready like never before. I'm ready mentally, I'm ready physically, I'm ready all kinds of ways. And I said, I'm aiming for the belt. I'm not jumping over anybody's head. I'm not jumping over any opponent, but my goal is the belt. And the belt, I know it's mine, and I'm just going to take it in the right time. And this time gonna come very soon, with God's help, with God's will. And I know God is with me, and I'm just doing my job, you know. And the fight, this fight, this fight gonna, if it's gonna go on the ground, I will always try to finish it, and I will always try to finish it, finish him on the ground. If it's going to be standing, I will be ready, and I will try to finish him standing. If it's gonna be 3 rounds, I will take all 3 rounds and dominate. And yes, as I said, I'm ready for all of it.
Ilia Topuria leaving the featherweight division, now going to be competing at 155. I'm sure you guys have had a conversation. I know you two will never fight each other, but is that something you've talked about? Because you're now in the same division with him.
Yes, I think he has another aim and another goal just right now. He also has the belt in the aim, and there is another person, Islam, who is having the belt just right now, and he's the aim. He's the next victim, as I understand and as I know. So that's where he aims.
That's what I'm hearing as well, is that fight may be happening in July with Islam and Ilia. Like, how big of a fight would that be? Because you know how popular Ilia is. We know how popular Islam is. And just two of the best in their prime right now. How great of a fight would that be?
I think it's going to be one of the greatest fights, you know, if not the greatest. So in UFC history. So time will show and we will see. But I'm not doubting a second Ilia El Matador Topuria that he gonna go and do his job and get the second belt too. Third belt, excuse me.
That's right. Yes, because he was a bantamweight champion in Cage Warriors, was he not?
Yes, but you should not forget the real BMF.
That's true. That's true. That's true. Yes. Good point. Good point. Again, keeping me on my toes in this interview. I was curious your thoughts, since obviously there's a vacant belt at 145. We've got Alex Volkanovski, Diego Lopes. I was curious how you think that fight plays out. That's an interesting one.
Yes, this is a very interesting one. Again, I like Volk a lot. All the respect to him, you know, he's a great human being. He's a great guy. Great martial artist, pound for pound. He was number one for so many years. So I hope, and me personally, I will be glad if he takes it.
Do you think he takes it? Some people feel like, Volk still got it, especially if the fight goes longer. We've seen Diego Lopes slow down a little bit. Do you think Volkanovski can do enough to get the win?
I hope so.
What did you think of Ankalaev's performance? He took out a really good champion in Alex Pereira. What were your thoughts on the fight?
Yes, Alex Pereira, you know, is nowadays one of the greatest champions that the UFC ever had. So Ankalaev did an amazing job, you know. Great game plan, mental, psychological plan, and yes, just congratulations, you know, congratulations to Ankalaev and Dagestan and to Caucasia, once again, to that this little area, have one more belt.
And my last question, because I told you I wouldn't keep you here long. We haven't also spoken since Merab Dvalishvili defeated Umar Nurmagomedov. How impressive was that win? Because again, a lot of people were counting Merab out, and he came out there and he got the win over Umar Nurmagomedov.
Actually, me and Alexandre Topuria, we were at the airport and flying to Australia that night.
Okay.
And we watched that fight at the airport, almost on the flight, waiting at the gate.
Yeah.
So we were screaming, there is some videos. I don't know if this video gonna come ever out, but this is very funny actually.
Yeah.
But of course, Merab is my brother. I have a lot of respect for him, for what he have done as a human being, as a fighter, as a Georgian, and what he have done for Georgia. He made history. So I'm very happy from the bottom of my heart. I was yes, I was almost getting tears on my eyes. So, and this says a lot.
Guram, I appreciate the time, especially at the end of the evening when you did a lot of training today. So I really appreciate it. If there's anyone you would like to thank before we get out of here, any sponsors or anything else you want to mention, as I always do, I will give you the last word, sir.
Thank you so much, James. Thank you. Guys, don't miss my fight, London, 22nd of March. Let's go, guys. Don't blink.
There we go.